So I love my iPad Pro. I get constant use out of it and it's been amazing. But the one problem I've really had is that the only case that seems to work for me is the really, really expensive Apple Magic Keyboard case. And the reason for it is because it gives me unlimited angles that most other cases can't. With folio cases and a lot of these cases that you usually get one angle or maximum two angles, and that doesn't work for me, especially if I'm on video calls or something like that, where I'd want to kind of tweak the angle just right to get that camera focused on me, or just to view videos or whatever. You know, sometimes based on my seating position, I'd want the angle of the screen to be a certain way. Now, there was a case I used to use that was made by Belkin, if I'm not correct. If I'm not wrong, I'm sorry if I'm not correct. If I'm not wrong, but they've stopped making that case, and I've really never been able to find a replacement for it because it did something very simple, exactly what this tomtoc case does. So this is a tomtoc Smart Folio cover. It works for the 10.9-inch iPad Air as well, and the 11-inch iPad Pros. So it's a very simple folio case. It just opens up, it's magnetically attached. It really doesn't have any complexities. It's a very simple, very lightweight, and very, very thin. Now, what this case does that the other Smart Folios don't do is very simple. You can go ahead and change the angles on this so that you can have it at pretty much any angle within the case, and it just stays. Like, once you do this, it does stay. Obviously, there's a range, there is a certain level of angle where it stays the strongest, but even though, most of the angles, I've been using this case for about 2 months now, and I have been very satisfied with the angles that you can get out of it. And not to mention, it is just extremely lightweight, so it just makes things a lot easier. Now, I was a little bit concerned about getting this white color, fearing it will get dirty. And while it hasn't really gotten dirty, I can definitely see that, it does show stains and things a little bit quicker. Just smudges and things are going to get picked up. That is the nature of white. It's not a white, it's a kind of creamish yellow white. You guys can see the difference between my white table and this. It's more of a yellowish white for sure. But it is a nice color. I think I would have given the chance again. Black would be my go-to. Now, this case is really, really good for the price it's at. It's $27, and for the functionality it gives me, it's just quite frankly, no other case does that. And it also does have a sketch mode where you can there's a little notch right here. You can put the flap of the back on here, and you can have it set down like this. And if you want to draw or something, you could easily draw, or honestly, even if you're, a typer who likes to type on the iPad Pro, let me just pull up a note or something. So you can kind of type easily. This is a typing test. So it's a really interesting case for sure. And at the price it's at, it's pretty impressive. The one thing I do kind of wish was a little bit better was this inside material. If you guys do look at it, it does pick up stains, and it is quite frankly not as soft and nice as the Apple Smart Folio cover. In fact, I haven't used any folio cover that wasn't Apple's original that had a really nice and soft material on the inside. All of the other ones kind of have this cheap, almost sticky feeling to them compared to Apple's very soft, almost felt-like texture. However, this case isn't perfect. As much as I want this case to be perfect, because it does everything I've been looking for a long time. I'm not kidding. I've been looking for something like this for at least 2 years. And the one thing where this case really does let me down is the magnet strength. So the magnetic strength on the back of this case is kind of mediocre. You guys see how easily I lifted that up? That's not good. So what happens is a lot of times when I'm using the case, it is at risk of just falling off. So just a gentle shake and it came off of the back. Now, this is something that I would say is a deal breaker for many, and I could completely see why. Personally, I am a little bit more careful with my devices, and I'm not using them in very outdoor situations or situations where I'd be worried about it falling out. But still, it's something that I think is inexcusable. It definitely needs to have stronger magnets, because otherwise, this is a very, very good product. So I'm just a little bit upset about the fact that the magnetic strength of the back is not as good as it could be. It's a very simple fix, and I really do hope that for the next version of this case, tomtoc just improves those magnetic strengths for these magnets, and it would just be perfect. And just to show you guys, I do have this magnetic paper sheet, which will be able to find the magnets on this case. So for example, let me just go ahead and show you where the magnets on the iPad Pro are. So let me go ahead and pull this a little bit closer, you guys, so you guys have a better look. So you guys can see on the bottom right down here, there's a ton of them. Then as we move up towards the side, again, right towards the top right. So generally right towards all the corners, there are a ton of magnets. There's another 2 right here and at the bottom. So there, the iPad Pro on the inside has a ton of magnets throughout. So the question now is, how many does this tomtoc case have? Because I think that's where the real question is. So it does seem to have a ton of magnets in and of itself too. So I'm surprised as to why it's not able to create as strong of a seal. You guys can see there are a ton of little magnets in here. I initially did suspect that maybe there were not as many magnets, or maybe some parts of the case were missing magnets. Definitely the edges right here could have way more magnets right here and right down here as well. As you guys can see, there's not as many magnets. It's just these, this right here, these 2, and then there's a bunch of them right here. So this case definitely could use with more magnets. It doesn't lack in magnets as much as I thought it did. What it probably does lack in though is powerful magnets. So this case would really be amazing if they did add slightly more powerful magnets. But other than that, where I stand on this case is kind of weird, because I don't think I can recommend it to everybody very openly, just because of the risk of it falling out or the case kind of losing grip. But that being said, this is something that I'm going to continue using. I love this case, and it does something for me that no other case has been able to for a very long time, except for the $300 iPad, the iPad keyboard case, which is, again, extremely heavy. This is very lightweight and actually portable. So this is a weird one. I will have this link down in the description below. I do recommend, if you guys want to check it out, you can check it out, but just beware that, you know, the magnets can be a little bit loose on the back, and if that is something you're worried about, maybe stay away from now. But I will keep an eye on tomtoc and their cases, and if they do update this case, I promise I will be the first one to pick it up, try it out. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. If you have any more questions about the Smart Folio case, or if you just want to check it out, go check out the description. I have the links to this and a few other cases that I like down in the description below. Thank you so much for using those links, guys. They really do help the channel grow. And if you haven't already, be sure to follow me on social media. I'll have all the handles and links right here on the screen, and of course, linked down in the description as well. A lot more content coming your way, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.